It's day 3 in the Big Brother Discord house, and we're here with newly rebranded Zyves. How are you feeling being invited back to play BBD, and how are you feeling in the house now?
So I never thought I would see the day where BBD would come back. That was over with. Um, I'm very excited. Like to join. I was very excited. Like I don't know. I just feel like in real life I'm entering a brand new era, and it feels like the same things happening with like just like on Discord. My last outing BBD was a bit of a tank, and since they have the chance again to have the chance again to like try again, get a new chance of life is really exciting. I'm really happy it's back. Basically.
Okay, period. So, right. So, you come into the house, you knew you were a veteran coming. Were you expecting to see other people, and how did you end up feeling about the rest of the veterans that entered?
Mhm. So I had kind of considered like all the possible different outcomes of like what type of setup the season could be. There was the idea of like a series slash call setup where it's just me and then a bunch of movies. So like I just didn't think I was like necessarily that type of girl where it's like going to have me against a bunch of newbies. I would think you would have someone more like you would have like a Hex or like a Alyssa or like somebody that's like 10 year but also has done really well to be like the sole person in the house. So I didn't think it would be that. And so I thought about, okay, so what else have I done? I've done All Stars. I've done the half and half. Half newbies, half vet. So I'm like, okay, so at that point, but which I haven't done is like kind of the coaches or at least like 4 people, and then rest newbies. So I had kind of figured that out. That it would be like me and 3 other vets returning. I just didn't know who it was. And honestly, I'm like really happy with mostly. I'm happy with Lynn and X being in here. It's just there's another person in here, Robin. I'm not too sure about, but we'll see how that ends out, how that pans out. So yeah. So yeah.
All right, interesting. And how are you feeling about the 10 new house guests thus far?
They're alright boots. Like I don't know, they're fine. I just feel like really standouts to me are Kathy, and I say honestly, no one else is like really jutting out to me like somebody I'm like, oh, I need to get to know them. Like everyone else is either like I don't know. I feel like a little older people this season, like Leah, Danielle. I think there's another girl, maybe Ari. I don't know who Ari is, but it's kind of giving like mature, like a whole bunch of Felicia's in the house. But it's cute though. Like they're for the most part they're fine. I feel like I don't see any standouts. Like Kathy's cool. I enjoy talking to her, and then kind of Swan, I guess. But otherwise, they're like all right. And like I'm an early bird. Like I'd be waking up at 6, ready to talk to bitches, and like they just don't be up. I don't know. I'd be having to wait for like a couple hours for someone to respond, and I just don't like that. But otherwise, it's cute.
Okay, so I noticed earlier on you were pretty positive regarding Ty, but you didn't mention him now. So do you feel like he's gone down in favor for you?
I like Ty. She's cute. I just feel like it's either like one, she's not that exciting and or active of a girly, or like she's not feeling me. I think out of all the newbies, I've definitely grown the closest to Ty, but I also feel like we're not necessarily that close. Yesterday we were talking about the little tokens choice, and she said she'd be willing to give me some tokens, so that kind of shows like some form of like connection there. I just feel like I have to like continue to work on it. Like I feel like maybe I'm not sure if this is her first or whatever, but I just need her basically to come out of her shell more. Like I feel like I'm the one kind of initiating conversations. I'm the one trying to figure out more about her. I need like her to like kind of step to place, like more active. But not enjoy Ty. I like talking to her. She was running Pink Friday too, like I was saying. So, all with your friends. So yeah, she's cute.
All right, so give us some insight kind of to, what your thought process were during the autographs competition, whether you were gunning for it. And, obviously there was some drama in your alliance regarding some members and how they used their autographs. So let us know how you
Mhm.
felt about all of that.
So I didn't want to win it. I just fine winning it because I really okay. So the drama. Let's start with that. So the drama basically is it's often like what Texas told me from her perspective. It's just she's telling me that like Lynn wants to play from a more under the radar profile, whereas Hex wants to be kind of like out in front. And I think basically where she was playing from during like BBD 4 and 5, she was more kind of like on the top of the house, very much in the forefront, very much like the face of the season, which I understand. And like she's saying like Glenn wants to be like more kind of under the radar. He doesn't want to draw too much attention to himself. And in terms of those two sides, I definitely side with Hex. I just feel like I can only draw experience or like reference from actual Big Brother seasons. And if you actually like recall the Big Brother seasons where like vet versus newbie mixes, the vets had to kind of like put their foot down and be like, "Yeah, I'm not growing a house. I'm going to let y'all know how shit like is going to go down because otherwise the newbies going to have the power. They have the numbers majority, so they can just like take us out." So I definitely agree with Hex and the fact that we need to kind of like as early as possible set the standard for the season. Get that power and kind of like let the girls know what's about to go down. So otherwise, you can get ran over basically. And so in terms of like the actual HOH, I definitely want a Hex to win because I feel like that would have been a guaranteed safe week for me. I'd have felt very comfortable. And then like I feel like that would have gave me some room to maneuver myself where I could like position myself with like the newbies, where I could like maybe nab a couple and like just like keep myself safe for the next couple of weeks. But then of course that didn't pan out. Dre won HOH, and Dre has given me safety. With the caveat that I have to, if I want HOH next week, I'd also have to keep her safe, which I'm fine with. Honestly, I wasn't planning on nominating her. I don't know who I want to nom yet, but like if I were to win second week HOH, I won't want it to be like a safe week where it's like, oh, the house consensus. I want to like get shit moving. I don't, it's like I just feel like as the vets, as early as possible, it's kind of like take the power in your own hands and you know, create your own destiny basically. And so I'm trying to get power as soon as possible. Let the girls know what's good, and move on from there. Um, so yeah,
Okay.
well, yeah.
So in the alliance of you, Hex, and Vlyn, who do you feel like is the person you're like really riding with there?
And honestly, I really do. As allies, I really do like both Hex and Blend. Hex, I feel like in general, I'm closer to Hex. But then I've played more orgs with Blend, and Blend has like always been like loyal to me within these orgs. And so I also know like that loyalty is always going to be there, and so I do trust him as well. To me, it depends on how this game pans out and like what would be best for me strategically. I'll be fine going to the end with either of them. I just feel like right now, Lynn, he's either trying to play it too safe or he's trying to put his hand in too many baskets. And I just don't necessarily know if his game goals align with my game goals. But we're going to see how that pans out. So right now, I would say I'm closer with Hex, but either or could happen. Like, you know, expected, unexpected. I don't know. Anything could pan out.
All right, interesting. And I know you lot expressed concern regarding Nathan's inclusion in the house. So how have you been handling that?
So Nathan gave like, okay, we got Hex, Glenn, and Zeev in the house, and we all know we like each other. So let's try to throw a little wrench in our plan with Nathan. It's just like anyone that watched Isaac's Blitz org know that I got Nathan out handedly and easily, and so like I'm a little afraid of him. But he's also like a troll, so I don't exactly know how to perceive him. Like, he's never serious. Like 100% of our talking in our one-on-one or in our one-on-ones, he's like literally never being serious. So I don't know if I consider him an actual ally. I do think there's a sense of fear coming from him where he's like, he knows if he were to try to come for me, then he would have Hex and Glenn on his ass like immediately. So like I think there's some level of kind of leash that he's on. And so I'm not too afraid of him, especially from like a strategic standpoint. But he's basically like our Izzy, but like kind of worse because like at least Izzy was like loyal to Siri to the end. Like that was basically Siri's daughter. I feel like Nathan's like our redheaded stepchild. Like he's fine, he's there. We'll like feed him and clothe him and house him, but like we'll kick him out if need be. So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out Nathan honestly.
All right. With um with the auditions twist, kind of what did you like think about it when it was first announced? Walk us through kind of your decision you landed on with
Yeah.
using your tokens.
So I decided not to use my tokens just because from what Hexa told me, she was getting tokens from like I think Danielle, Ari, and Robin, and some other people. I think maybe she has some tokens to herself too. So I'm like, so it seems like Hexa winning. So like, I don't really need to give her any more tokens. So I should be fine on that. And then like, I don't know. I think the tokens will be powerful in the future, so I just want to kind of hold on to them as much as possible. So I'm just like, let me just hold on to them for now and like see what happens in the future. If there's ever a point in which I know I'd absolutely need power. I can spend all on chips in myself. But as long as I can keep the tokens, I will. Ty was telling me that she would be willing to spend some tokens on me, but I was like, no, don't do that because I was kind of afraid that like I would get the punishment if so. But then apparently someone was petty and gave Flash a token. so he gets punishment. But yeah, so hopefully, I think Ty kept her tokens as well. And so yeah, I don't really put that much thought. It's a twist. I just like it's just not my thing. I don't know. I don't really think that much about it. At the moment, if I ever like need it, if I'm in a desperate situation, I can use it. But I really don't like. I'm mostly worried about like the person to person interaction. I'm not really worried about like the twists or whatever. It's like however they pan out, they pan out. I move on from there. But, like right now, that's really not in like the front of my mind.
Okay, fair enough. So, what did you kind of feel with the results of the audition where Hex wins with 60 tokens?
Yeah. So I like I said, I figured Hex was gonna win because she had told me all these people were spending something on her. And honestly, I kind of like I I just respect Hex's approach to the game as a veteran more. It's just kind of like, well, I'm already like that girl. Well, I'm that girl, so let me just go ahead and be that girl. Like, I'm gonna get the most tokens. I'm gonna dump to the HOH. I'm gonna be in the forefront, and people are gonna have to get used to it. Could that like or could that like end up like falling through for her? Sure, but like at least she's like willing to put in the effort to be the main girl, to be the star of the show, and just like kind of go on from there. Glenn had some issue with it. He had come to my DR or not DR, my one on one, be like, "Where the heck got those tokens from?" And I was gonna write to my sister. So I was like, "I don't know. You have to ask her. Like that's your friend." But like, I don't know. Like I do. I'm already seeing some cracks or like drama within the me Lynn sex hexology. I mean, relationship. So it's like that's why I really need to try to like start panning out or not panning out. Start branching out to like these movies and garner more connections between them. But yeah, like I don't know. I feel like week one we already having some drama over some tokens. I don't feel like it's a good sign for the longevity of this group. But we'll see how it turns out. Um, yeah.
All right. And do you have any speculation on what she may have received, or have you had tried to talk with her about that yet? Or
No, if she feels comfortable talking to me, if she wanted to tell me, she would tell me. If she doesn't tell me, that just tells me how she views our relationship, and I'll just move on from there. I'm not going to force her to tell me. I'm not going to ask her. Uh, yeah, I couldn't tell you what it could be. I'll just figure it out when I figure it out. I think right now, at this point, I really don't think Hex would ever turn on me or like throw me under the bus or anything unless like a very desperate situation. And so I'm not too worried about it. If if she wants to tell me, she can tell me. Otherwise, I'll just like move on. I'm not gonna reach for something that's not given to me.
okay. And Clash, does the worst and gets the punishment with one token. Um, how,
Okay.
how are you feeling about that? And what did you think of the punishment he received?
Give me 1 second. I'm about to catch the bus.
No problem.
Honestly, I kind of assumed Danielle was getting it because Nathan told me that he had given Danielle the one token to be petty. But then I got someone else also gave Danielle one token, so maybe she had got word that Nathan was going to do it and had given herself one token to save herself. Yeah. I'm not really too worried about Clash. Like, Hexology likes Clash, and so I was trying to like talk to Clash more, but like he just doesn't give me anything. I don't know if it's because like maybe it's different in Britain, like communication. Maybe it's our time difference. He used to be like tired when he's talking to me. Like he really just doesn't give me anything. I'm not gonna force myself to like have a conversation with you. If you're not trying to talk. It is what it is. So um Clash at most what I'm saying could be a number, but otherwise I'm not too worried about it.
Okay. And who are you expecting for Dre to nominate at the moment?
So definitely Clash. And then cause she's gonna make it a boring week one, which honestly I think is good for veterans. I think Hex had a very good point where she had kind of like uh she kind of drew a comparison between Clash HOH and French's HOH and BB23 was kind of like if either your HOH is so chaotic, so boring, where like no real power dynamic or like power structure is set in place, that just gives a week two HOH room to set that power dynamic and like lay the groundwork for the rest of the season. I think from what she's told me, at least she's not lying, she's gonna go playing kind of boring house consensus. What everyone else is saying who's talking leaf kind of nod. So that would include Clash for. I don't know who the second one would be. Maybe Nathan. Um, but that's just like that's mostly speculation. And I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be Clash and someone else. And in that case, between Clash and Nathan, I honestly don't know who I want to stay. Maybe we have to get Nathan on just because they have that T on me and X. And like also knowing Nathan, he kind of knows like as he's going, he's like, oh by the way, X when we all know each other can get them out. So I don't know. I have to respond to it as like comments, like whatever she makes it up.
All right, Per. Um, so, looking back on your past performances, how do you feel like what are you changing about your time this time to do better this time?
Okay, so I feel like BBD2 and BBD8 were very similar, but kind of different. In fact, I feel like I always take a very similar approach to the game, whereas I try to have some form of connection to everyone. Because I feel like there's always a certain point in time where you're gonna want to, where you may need something out of someone, and like I don't want to like come to someone one on one. So I connection have at least a little bit of confidence on a daily basis. And so that's like what I did with my seasons. But like the difference between the two with BBD2, I took more kind of a backseat approach where the age I was more kind of at the forefront, running the house for the first couple of weeks. Both ended up kind of failing on me. BBD2 failed on me because I kind of like I was in the backseat too much, and BBD8 itself kind of fell on me like almost every race. I was like kind of like broke down immediately. It seemed like a little bit of pressure. So I think I need to kind of find a middle ground where it's like I definitely want to everyone, but I also don't want to make words like make more moves behind the scenes and kind of run things. I want to see like some appearance, and that's kind of like the forefront. Um, Another thing I know is from like what I would see power rankings that apparently like I kind of I would have my foot on the pedal, but that like other people kind of take the forefront. Whereas this time I want to kind of stay consistent, consistently like have these connections, make them. I want to continue to like play the game. Like I don't want to ever like leave any moment for anyone to like take the game away from me or like kind of like keep me out of my position and keep me on the bottom. So right now I just have so much good social connections with everyone. I don't have any good connections. So I think for this next week, if I really am safe, like I said, I'm still trying to work on like games.
All right. Well, thank you, Walker. That's all the questions. Sorry. That's all the questions that I have. Um,
Well, thank you. Have a good one.
her boots.